Flat. Good afternoon. I'd like to thank everybody for being here on short notice. So on June 4th, 2007, 19-year-old Anita Knutson was found murdered in her apartment in Northwest Minot. Now, after nearly 15 years of investigating and following up on leads, and the suspect is in custody. At about 3:25 p.m., 34-year-old Nicole Rice was arrested for murder and taken to Ward County Jail. Although most of the detectives who worked the original scene and investigation have retired, we have not forgotten about this case. Detective Carmen Asham and McKaylee Talbot were assigned to take over as the lead investigators. We tried to actively investigate Anita's case for the past few years, and finally, with the help of cold justice, we were able to move forward and regain focus. Due to the resources, logistics, planning, and experts they were able to provide, we were able to obtain an arrest warrant for Nicole Rice. I would like to thank everyone, especially Detective Asham and Detective Talbot, for their hard work and dedication to the investigation, and Captain Dale Plesses for his efforts to assist in coordinating all of the moving parts over the past week. I must also thank the rest of the officers, the staff, and everybody else at the Minot Police Department who has picked up the slack while everybody else has been busy working this case. Finally, my heart goes out to the family. I wish we could have solved this sooner, but at the same time, I'm glad to say that we have a person responsible for the murder of Anita Knutson in custody. And I'd take any questions that you have at this time. Really, there hasn't been a lot of changes from the original investigation. We've tried to keep this investigation alive over the years, but I would entertain any questions you have about the case at this point.
What was Nicole's relation to?
She was the roommate at the time of the murder. Kim?
The role of cold justice, could you elaborate on that a little bit?
Their role is really just to support our department. So we do all the investigating. They just provide experts and other professionals to help us, help answer questions, do any testing, that kind of thing. So they're really just a resource for us.
Did they put you over the top here? Is that a fair thing to say?
They helped get us there. I wouldn't say they put us over the top, but they definitely helped keep us focused so that we could get there.
What was the turning point in this case?
I think the turning point in this case was really just trying to pull all of that information together and put it in an order that made sense. A lot of the information is information that we had. It just took a little bit of refocusing and a lot of paying attention to the fine details. And again, it was being able to sit and dedicate some time, our officers, to that and let them do their work. Like I said, there have been times that we have looked at this case and we've wanted to move it forward, and with staffing issues or, okay, the timing's just not right. And then as we started to look at the possibility of having some resources come in and help us, that's where we kind of pulled back. We knew that we wanted to, if we were going to put an effort into this, we were going to put it all forward at one time and not do little bits and pieces along the way.
That's not a new name. I'm trying to think back. It's a long time, but Nicole was cleared, I think, on a couple of times. I mean, she was definitely a suspect. But can you help us out with that at all?
I don't know that I would say that she was ever cleared. There was never enough to arrest her, but I would say that she was always a person of interest in this case.
Is she being held?
She's being held at Ward County Jail at this time.
What charges is she facing?
She was charged with murder, which is a AA felony. there are no other questions, Kim?
Congratulations, by the way, but, can you share with us anything that really linked her to this arrest?
Yeah, I can't get into the details of everything that went into the affidavit for this arrest, but, you know, again, it's not, a lot of it isn't new information. There were a few details that came up, and over time, things start to develop. I mean, it's ultimately, you're looking back, you're looking at probably at least dozens, but probably maybe even over 100 statements that were taken. I mean, there were some of the comments that we heard from outside investigators looking at this was that we put way more effort in than they ever would have done. So we've turned over every leaf already. It was just a matter of putting all that information in front of new investigators and letting them do their work. And Detective Asham and Talbot did that. They read every statement. They looked at every piece of evidence. They looked at every report that was done, and they refined that information down. So it's just a lot of time-consuming work and dedication to the community and to Anita and her family.
Is there any way to put into words how this case hanging over the department for 15 years affected day-to-day life or thoughts or whatever?
I can only speak for myself, and it's unnerving to know that somebody is out there that murdered somebody, and in this case, there was not one person that had anything bad to say about Anita. So to me, this was a young girl with a great future that was taken away from her family way too soon.
So how does it feel for you and the people in your department to finally get to this point?
It was a relief. It was good to know that finally, the one case that we've had hanging out there that we just could not get to a solution was finally over. Well, at least the work part of it is over. Now it's all the rest of it. There'll still be a lot of work to do.
It wasn't too long ago that we stood here and more information was revealed about another cold case. That's two in a short amount of time. Is there something in particular, aside from the things you had mentioned about cold justice or something, that has allowed the department to make these recoveries?
Some of that is just wanting to, going back and taking a look. The last case was just simply, again, taking all of the information, putting it together, taking a hard look at it and deciding, is there enough to make a determination? And in that case, there was. We were able to determine that case should be closed. This was another case that we had to put as much effort into it as we could, and we were able to coordinate that in addition with outside resources, and again, it pushed us over the edge to the point where we could get to a solution. So other than hard work and dedication by our department, I can't say that there's anything that got us there other than that.
Where was the arrest made and how did that procedure go?
Nicole Rice was at work on Minot Air Force Base in civilian capacity, and she was arrested without incident on base. All right. If there's nothing further, I'll end the press conference. Thank you all for being here this afternoon.